Yeah, we live. We live. If you guys can hear me, let me know. Put it in the comment section. If my audio was good, if the video was good, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. All right, we already got people in the building. Shout out to my family in the building. First one in the building. Shamari, what's good, Shamari? Let's go. That's fact. Schemo, what's good? Is it just sir? My man Bill in the building. What's going on, Bill? Mo is in the building. PJ in the building. How am I sounding? I'm sounding all right. The visual looking good. Let me know. Jarius, what's going on? Zoe, what's going on? Let me get through some of these comments before we get this started again. Family in the building. That's love. Yes, sir. Ski Mo, yes. Just let that play. That's a fact, man. Let me go ahead and put that music back on, man. Shout out to my son who made the beat. Yes, sir. This is the first official late night Giants talk with Big Dash. Shout out to everybody that was here earlier today for the test. Hopefully the visual's a little bit better. My wife let me know that it was a little bit distorted at times, a little laggy. So let me know if everything's good, man. Wouldn't purchase some things. Try to get this thing looking right for everybody, man. All right. Thank you, Jared. So let me know everything is good. And visuals good, sound good. Thank you. Thank you. That's a fact. Emo, that's a fact. That's him. That's his drums. But yeah, man, we're gonna kick this off the right way. Let me go and turn this beat down a little bit. I love the beat, but I gotta turn it down a little bit. So again, I want to say shout out to everybody being in here. The love and support is real. I feel it. The channel is growing, and it's all because of everybody that's in here and the people that haven't gotten here yet. But yeah, man, going live for the first time, man, it feels good. You know, we got a week. I mean, we got a game in a week. I'm excited about that. Minnesota Vikings opening week, 100th year. Got the Century Red jerseys. You know, a little bit wish-washy about that, but it is what it is. You know, love the jersey, hate the pants, man. Let me know how you guys feel about them jerseys, man. Some people got them already, though. Shout out to Bill. Bill with the first super chat, first live. We got to celebrate. Sounds good, and thanks for doing. Listen, man, Bill. Yo, Bill been around for a while, man. As long as I've been around, Bill been around. Always showed love, always showed support, man. Outside of the super chats, we just talking about commenting. He knows, you know, he'll put a comment in. I'll definitely get to it. And I mean, pretty much everybody knows that, man. I try to reply to everybody. We all Giants fans here. We all in it together. The wins, the losses, we all here together. And we all feel it together. Pulse. But you know what I mean. My man Mo said, Gotta get a new jersey. Yeah, gotta get a new one. You like that Century Red? Give me the throwbacks, man. Give me the 80s throwback 10 times out of 10. The legacy jerseys, that's the one I like. Shout out to Tyrone in the building. I trust that Big Dash knows us go. That's a fact, man. I appreciate it, man. I hope so, man. I hope so. What do you say? Schemo said, I love him. We came a long way from the jersey. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yes, I am live. Mac Customs. Shout out to you. Again, appreciate the love and support. Zoe Fisher. I love those. Listen, you know what I told my son? I said, I need a throwback beat. And he whipped this up. And like, I kid you not, he whipped it up in like 45 minutes, man. So a young, talented kid, man, right there. Proud of him. Say Xavier Anderson, I've been watching college football heavy this past weekend for our next QB. Listen, pump the brakes. Everybody's been looking at these quarterbacks. Pump the brakes. We can get into that, man. It's 2024. The season has not even started yet. Pump the brakes on these quarterbacks. We can talk about these quarterbacks a little bit later, but I understand because I've been watching the quarterbacks too, low key. Shout out the family in the building. Shout out the family in the building. Yes, bro. Listen, I love and respect for real, especially when families in the building. Shout out to Jersey, man. Listen, I'm gonna spend all day going through these super chats too, and these comments. We got another one from a man JJan300. Appreciate the love and support, yes sir. Thanks, fam. Go G, man. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, let's talk a little bit though, man. I'm gonna get back to this. I'm gonna get back to the chat in a second. Slow down a little bit. Let's talk about this football team a little bit, man. So first thing I wanted to talk about, because there are some things that I would like to talk about, and the first thing is going to be Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen. A lot of people up and down on Joe Schoen. If you want to put in the comments, if you like Joe Schoen right now, you're happy with the job that he's doing, go ahead and put a thumbs up in the chat. If you're not happy with what Joe Schoen is doing, put the thumbs down in the chat. If you're still waiting to see, go ahead and put the bicep in the chat if you can do it. That's why I want to see how I want to take the temperature of the room to see how we feel about Joe Schoen, and I'll let you guys know. Let me see. I got thumbs up so far. See thumbs up. Shout out to the people, man. Shout out to the love, man. Big Blue with a thumbs up. Bookend, thumbs up. Bicep from Matt Customs. My man TP Ways in the building. He gave me with a thumbs up. Go through some of these thumbs up. Vicente Neves. Pardon me if I butcher any names here. Schemo got the thumbs up. Big Jack, thumbs up. I stand. That's a good comment right there. I stand with him from Zoe Fisher. Somebody else said even. Thumbs up. Listen, I've been a Giants fan a long time, right? And when you're coming from where we came from, especially with Dave Gettleman, I still see a lot of thumbs up. So the thumbs up have it right now. I'm just going to leave it at that. We got a couple of evens in here. I have not seen a thumbs down yet, but I know a lot of people are not happy with Joe Schoen. But when you're coming from David Gettleman and you're going into Joe Schoen, and we could talk about Joe Schoen all we want about, some things that he should have did, but you know what? It just didn't happen. The quarterback situation at the draft, it just didn't happen. Listen, he tried to do some things, and it just did not happen. But we can't judge him on what he tried and failed. Let's talk about what he did do. I like the pickup. I like Malik Neighbors. Like we lose out on a possible quarterback, but guess what? The consolation prize, and it's really not a consolation prize. Malik Neighbors is a damn good player. Let's leave it at that, and hopefully he does what we all expect him to do, and that's a fact. I got to stop looking at the chat right now. It's distracting me. It's distracting me. But no, man, myself. If I want to talk about Joe Schoen, I'm pretty even with Joe Schoen right now. I like the deals, the contracts that he gave to Andrew Thomas. I like the contract to Dexter Lawrence. Some people will say, that's just easy, no brainers sign it, but still the deals that he got them. And also when he signed them because if he would have waited a little bit longer, that price would have been a lot higher for both Andrew Thomas and Dexter Lawrence. So I'm happy with that decision. A lot of people go back and forth, and I guess the most controversial thing is the Saquon Barkley deciding to let Saquon Barkley walk. Listen, Saquon Barkley walking, it hurt. It absolutely hurt. But when you're trying to evaluate certain things, and when you're in the position that the New York Giants are in, having a luxury of Saquon Barkley, and I say the luxury of a $12 million running back is not something that the New York Giants, I think, could afford at the time. And it hurts, like I said, it hurts a lot, but we get to see what's going to happen, man. Running back by committee. I got another super chat here from Jay Jan. Shout out to Jay Jan. He says, these wide receivers and his pass rush is going to be dope. I agree 100%. 100%. So let's talk about the wide receiver room just a little bit, man. I'll get off topic a little bit. Let's talk about the wide receiver room. Outside of Malik Neighbors, you have Jalen Hyatt. Hyatt is open. You guys, see, I rep that all the time. Hyatt is open. Wan'Dale Robinson. Old Faithful, Darius Slayton. I call him Old Faithful. I don't know why people are trying to get rid of Darius Slayton, man. Like they're ready to run him off the squad. Jalen Hyatt. Listen, I'm a big fan of Jalen Hyatt too, but we got to keep it real. Darius Slayton has been keeping this thing afloat, as far as if you want to call it that. But he's been Old Faithful, man. So I still like Darius Slayton, and until Jalen Hyatt actually beats him out, I'm happy to have Darius Slayton here. Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be, I guess, that piece that a lot of people are looking for. When it comes to Wan'Dale Robinson, to me, we didn't see anything at all really in preseason, and I think that was by design. I think this first week, opening week, we're going to see a heavy dose of the run game and a heavy dose of Wan'Dale Robinson getting involved. Obviously, you're going to see Malik Neighbors and all other wide receivers as well, but the gadget guy, Weapon X, as I call Wan'Dale Robinson, Weapon X, is definitely going to be in full effect next week against the Vikings. Let me see if I can get back to this chat because you guys keep them coming. Pause. All right, let's see. So Stemo said, I like that Shane is making great deals and he is trying to draft to keep up with the times and really changing the way we play football as an organization. He hustles and he puts his foot down. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see what else we got going in. From Jester, he said, I hope DJ works so we can focus on building a team next draft. That's an important thing. Now, one thing that's kind of close to saying that is I really do believe this. The best thing for the New York Giants is for Daniel Jones to actually be good and be successful. Because if he is good, if he is successful, that means that's one less big piece that you have to worry about. So Daniel Jones having a good season, in my opinion, is the best thing for the New York Giants right now. And I'll leave it at that for right now. Let's see what else we got going on here. Mo said, I think we'll compete long as we don't just lay down in any games. Listen, that's a good point to make. I think going into that Detroit practice and knowing that those guys are supposed to be bullies and we ended up being the bullies, I think that lets everybody know that, as far as being pushed around, we don't have that type of energy. There's no soft energy with the New York Giants this year. That's what I truly believe that. And I think that heavy dose of Brian Burns helps that. Let's see what else we got here. Said Corey Alum. Shout out to Corey. Did the New York Giants offer Jacobs more than Barkley, and why? You know what? I've seen some reports now that it might be a fake story. I have to do a little bit more research. To me, it doesn't make sense for them to offer any running back more money. In that case, you would just keep Barkley if you were going to offer Jacobs, more money. But to me, I think you do. I don't think they really did, but we'll see. The truth will come out. But I did see a report that it could possibly be fake, that the reporter lied, misquoted them, something like that. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. Big Blue says, team is good. Danny just needs to get confidence back. I do agree with that. He does need to play with some more confidence. And hopefully he gets a confidence boost from that offensive line. That's what I'm waiting for. Because everybody keeps saying, give him a wide receiver one. Look at that offensive line. Now we think we have an offensive line that should be pretty good. And we have the weapons in the wide receiver room. We have that wide receiver one. Let's see if Daniel Jones can do that. My man TP Way said, Slayton being wide receiver 2 is probably what I'm most excited to see outside of Neighbors. True. Let's see what's that. Big Jack 757. He said, with the situation he came into, he's doing a great job. I'm assuming he's talking about Joe Shane, and I would agree with that. It was a mess that Gettleman left us, for sure. Okay, let's see. Looks like somebody's responding to somebody else. All right, I don't know what that's about. I got to go ahead and see what that's about. All right, Xavier Anderson's wide receiver room is great, but if DJ can't get the ball to them, it won't matter. Absolutely. And that's the kind of time I was on during the whole draft. It was like, I lost confidence in Daniel Jones. I saw some of the young quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, and everybody else, not everybody else, but a lot of people, you're attracted to the new shiny thing. And that's what it was. But guess what? That didn't happen. Daniel Jones is a quarterback of the New York Giants, and we got to see him get something done. Cynthia agrees with me, Mr. Reliable. Slayton is Mr. Reliable. Absolutely, I believe he is. All right, let's see what Corey Alum has. Says, first off, who's going to throw to the receivers? We barely have Jones, and basically is not a starting quarterback at best. Then who? That's why I said the best thing for the New York Giants is for Daniel Jones to actually be good, because if he's not, you're absolutely right. We don't have anybody really behind him, unless you count on Tommy DeVito. Shout out to Jersey, Tommy DeVito. Somebody said, where's Flacco? I believe Flacco signed with the Colts. You guys can go ahead and fact check that one. Shamari says, we definitely need to establish the run. Absolutely. Some of you old school New York Giants fans, Know what it is. No Earth, Wind, Fire days, even before that, the Rodney Hamptons, all that other stuff. You have to be able to run the ball. Tiki Barber got to be able to run the ball. And I think if you're able to do that, it'll open up everything else. Run the ball, stop the run. That's classic football talk right there. All right, Cynthia Georgia says, yes, Slayton too, and Wandell had a lot more to show. Absolutely. Got another super chat. From King Ja. Shout out to King Ja. Appreciate the love and support. I love Joe Shane. No GM is perfect. He hasn't done a flawless job, but I will say he has done a job. And Daves, I love them both. Listen, I'll get into Brian Daboll in a second for sure, because that's one piece I don't want to lose is Brian Daboll. So I'm hoping for a good season, especially to keep him. I don't want to hit the reset button on the New York Giants, especially the coaching staff. I got a lot of love and respect for Brian Daboll. He had one good year, one bad year. This third year is going to be a big deal and pretty much dictate what's going to happen moving forward. My man Schemo says Slayton over Hyatt for right now. That's the key words for right now. Absolutely. Hyatt got to earn that spot. Aren't you sick of the New York Giants just giving people spots? All these guys should earn it, right? Absolutely. You see what happened with Evan Neal, right? We gave him that spot, brought him no competition, and then when he wasn't good, didn't have anybody to back him up for real. Okay, Book and Tackle says it's on. DJ should have a better line and good weapons. Hope he delivers. I hope he delivers too. All right, got another question about Jacobs. Running back Jacobs got offered more than Barkley, but declined. Rumors. Oh, what's up with that? Listen, I wish I had the scoop. That's one thing that Big Dash does not know. I don't have the scoop on that. Right now, all I'm seeing are the reports, and they're saying that he was offered the most money from the Giants. Now, I don't know if that means it was more money than what Barkley was offered, but that's what the rumor is right now. We'll see what happens. That's what the report is. Okay, Cynthia Georgette says no excuses for DJ this year. It all rides on him. Absolutely. Defense will be good, but we have to score points. Let's hope DJ plays like the second half of the Cardinals game. Listen, if Daniel Jones plays like he did the second half of the Cardinals game, what we talking about? 35 touchdowns on the season if he does something like that for 17 games? Sign me up for that. Cynthia, sign me up for that. I'm with you 100%. Mo says saw that too, so I'm assuming he's talking about the Jacobs news. Okay. Let me do some of this. Mickey X, shout out to you, man. Say hell yeah, Big Dash. That's what's up. Yo. I got a homie in the chat. My man Trey is in the chat. Shout out to Trey, man. Me and Trey go back for a long time, Twitter days, man. At least 10 years now, man. Shout out to Trey in the building, man. Early supporter, day one right there. Shout out to you, Trey, man. Hope everything is good with you, brother. All right, Corey Alum. Cornerback Adoree is back. Shout out to Adoree. Yes, shout out to Adoree. I'll talk about that a little bit now. I'm going to slow this chat down a little bit. Let's talk about Adoree Jackson a little bit. First of all, let me check. I did get a text. And my wife can let me know if I'm coming through spotty or not. Okay. So she said I need to get this mic right. So I'm going to try to get this mic right. Hopefully that's better. Let me know if it's better. Let me get a text. Okay, yeah, so Adoree Jackson, I'm happy that Adoree Jackson is back, man. Honestly, I was pushing for let the young guys play, let the young guys develop. I was pushing hard for that. And then with Flott being hurt and then the preseason game, seeing McLeod get cooked in the Jets practice, I think enough was enough. And, go ahead and hit the bat phone and call up Adoree Jackson to come save the day. Hopefully he can help us out. I'm curious to see how fast it takes him to get into football shape. I'm pretty sure he's in shape. We're talking about football shape, chasing around wide receivers. So hopefully he can hit the fast forward button on that and do some things. I'm hoping, because listen, it's going to be a test week. You got Jettas, you got Addison. It's going to be a test week one, but hopefully that pass rush does its job for sure. All right. PGA says, I honestly think the bad old line from previous years affected his game, talking about Daniel Jones. Absolutely. If you're getting pummeled the way he was getting pummeled constantly, look what it did to Eli Manning. Eli Manning was Iron Man. But year after year of getting pummeled, He became gun shy, check down Eli's what we called him during his last days. Yo, if your O-line can't protect you, you start to see ghosts and things like that. Yeah, bad O-line play can definitely have an effect on people. Okay, we got Marquette Norman. Shout out to Marquette. How you doing? If Danny is good this year, do we sign him to a new contract or move on? That's a good question. I think with his contract right now, he has to have a pretty good year in order to earn that paycheck for the next 2 seasons. If he plays well enough, I think they've restructured his deal in order to give themselves some cap space. But I believe this year is like $47 million. Next year, I think it's roughly about 50. Yeah, I don't think the man is worth $50 million. So I think they will restructure the deal if they decide to keep Daniel Jones, because they do have the out. They do have the out at the end of this season. So Daniel Jones knows that he's playing for his career with the New York Giants. We'll see what happens with that. So shout out to Marquette. Thank you for the super chat. So Fisher says, these are the cards. These are the cards. It's how you play them. Absolutely. Life's not fair. The NFL is not fair. This is what Daniel Jones has been dealt. He got to deal with it. Absolutely. And that goes for everybody in the Giants organization. Joe Shane, Brian Dable, these are the cards you dealt. Got to play your hand. Shout out to Zoe for the comment. I like that. Bookend says, depends on how good. I'm thinking he's talking about the offensive line, or he might be talking about Daniel Jones. Kareem E says, what's up, Big Dash? He said, Joe needs to do better at finding gems in the later parts of the draft. Absolutely. I will say this, though. How do you feel, Kareem? You can answer this. How do you feel about Daniel Bellinger? How do you feel about Dane Belton? How do you feel about Trey Hawkins? When you look at some of these names, you're absolutely right to feel the way that you're feeling, especially when you see a lot of other teams that are hitting in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round, 7th round too in some cases. I like Daniel Bellinger. I think that his year 2, we cheated him. His rookie season was better, and he missed a bunch of games with the broken eye socket. But I think time will tell this year to see what we got for guys like Marcus McKeith and Darian Beavers in that first draft. Yeah, and I was a big Darian Beavers fan, but you gotta hit late. You gotta keep the cap healthy. You gotta be able to hit late and also build within the draft. That's how you keep that cap healthy. Okay. Schemo says Neil actually looked a lot better. Looked like you were going to finish something else at the end of that, but Neil had me fooled just a little bit. Just a little bit in that practice. He had a good rep. I'm like, wait, but let him work with Carmen Priscilla a little bit more and see what we got out of Neil. Right now, I'm down on Neil. I'm selling. I'm selling when it comes to Neil. But I hope, again, he's an Alabama player. Roll Tide. I'm a fan of the Tide. Don't kill me for that. But, could he get better? I'm hoping so. I would still try him on the inside. I think you should kick him inside the guard to see what happens. You do have a 2-year deal with Illuminor. And if Evan Neal can develop behind Illuminor or possibly get kicked into guard, because Greg Van Roten is old, man. He's old. We only got him for 1 year. So if Neal can step into that right guard spot, that would be fantastic in my opinion. You can salvage a little bit when it comes to that. He said, who was reporting that? I think it was the New York Times that was reporting that Jacobs. I believe it was the New York Times that was doing that. Again, you gotta show me the Carfax on that. I'm not sure what happened, but I believe it was New York Times is what I saw. Nathan McCartney, shout out to Nathan, said injuries are usually the biggest hurdle. Absolutely. If you're a New York Giants fan, you know about the injuries. MetLife has taken a lot of knees, Achilles, and all that other stuff. We got to stay healthy, man. Trey, brother, I appreciate it, bro. It's true, man. It's true. Day one, man. One of my biggest supporters from day one. Shout out to Trey, man. Okay, so Mickey X. Josh Jacobs also said that he would never sign with the division rival. Doesn't matter how much they pay. He hates them. Apparently, the Chiefs try. Yes, I did see that as well. The Chiefs were never an option for him. He was a Raider. He said he would never go to the Chiefs no matter the money. That makes me think about our situation with Saquon Barkley. He took the money and he went to the Eagles. I'm gonna leave it at that because he's no longer a Giant, and it can get really, really hectic if we go down the Saquon Barkley trail right now. Right now, he's an op. Philadelphia Eagles probably the team. It's not probably. It's the team I hate the most at all of our division rivals. Absolutely. Corey Alum says, how's our special teams looking? Guess what? You tell me, man. We don't get any reports on special teams in practice. I know that Gunnar Olszewski is saying he should be back for week 1. If that's what you're asking about. So Gunnar Olszewski should be back for week 1. But outside of that, Bryce Ford Wheaton playing the gunner, Nick McLeod playing the gunner. You know, I haven't done too much research on special teams. I hate the new special teams rule, especially when you're watching college football and you're seeing them having the standard, you know, kickoff and kick return. I want the NFL to go back to that, man. But guess what? All that can change if the New York Giants are fantastic in kick return. I might like this rule a little bit more. Jan 300 with another super chat, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love and support. Slayton reminds me of Tuma Light. Singletary isn't that much of a downgrade. I agree when it comes to the stats. I agree he's not as dynamic as Saquon Barkley, but he's what the New York Giants need. You know, one cut and go. We just need Burns and Tibbs to feed off of one another. Let's go fly. Listen, we already see the chemistry between Burns and Tibbs. These guys are fishing together, practicing together, doing all this. They spend an extra time together. And I think we'll see that right away. Listen, we got the early game against the Vikings. It's against Sam Darnold. That offensive line is pretty good for the Vikings. Not the interior. The center's cooked when it comes to Dex. Dex is going to cook that interior. But I can't wait to see Burns and Tibbs get off on the outside. Shout out to you, JJan 300 with the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. Okay, we got Let's Be a Giant. Let's Be a Giant says, we need to start fast on offense. Agree. To finally give our defense the proper rest they need, and never really had. They never really had that being on the field for 14 to 15 plus plays has to be over. Listen, we got to get off the field on third down. I will say that, and the offense will need to sustain drives. One thing about the New York Giants, when you think about the pass rush, we never really played with the lead. And usually when the defense is playing with the lead and you know that the offense has to throw the ball, they're in throwing situations, you can just pin your ears back and rush the quarterback. And we haven't even seen that yet. So just imagine how good this defense could be if they're playing with the lead. Tibbs with the lead, Burns with the lead, where you know you can just rush the passer. I can't wait to see something like that for sure. Shout out to Let's Be Giants. All right, Dan Papel says, no, he said Dan Pompey. Oh, Dan Pompey reported it. There you go. Shout out to Mo. Dan Pompey is the one that reported the Josh Jacobs comment about the New York Giants offering him the most money. There you go. My man Schemo said that Arizona second half is what the offense will end up looking like with the protection we seem to have. Listen, I'm all for it. Schemo, from your mouth to God's ears, man. I'm all for that, man. If we can do that, I think it'll shut a lot of people up. It'll shut a lot of people up. I'm all for that. My man said, not Daniel Jones. He said Daniel Jones. Let's go. Bearded Daniel Jones. Yeah. Daniel Jones with the beard is Daniel Jones. Absolutely. And hopefully, you know what? Hopefully he keeps the beard, man. No matter how he plays, I hope he keeps the beard, for personal reasons. Just looking better with the beard. All right, Mickey X said, I can't wait for next Sunday. Giants football is back. Absolutely. I'm with you 100%. Okay, Kareem, you said they're okay, but there were some true gems available around those picks. I believe he's talking about the 4th, 5th rounds. We were talking about Joe Shane and his drafting in the late rounds. Yeah, there were some people. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, so I do want to get back. I'm gonna come back to the chat. I do have some talking points I want to get to. I want to talk about this offensive line. We touched on it a little bit. How do you guys feel about the offensive line? I'm feeling good about the offensive line. I think for the first time in a long time, we have 2 quality tackles. I think we have some veterans at guard right now that should be solid. The biggest question mark for me right now, and I'm talking about my son, is JMS, John Michael Schmitz. I need him to take the leap. I need him to play better. If he can get off to a fast start, sky's the limit for this offensive line. I really do believe that. I really do believe that. Let's get back there. Remember What's this? We got Corey Alum. You guys are going in this chat, man. Remember, Belichick said that the New York Giants should develop DeVito, and we're going to do that. It might be by default. I do believe that if Locke was healthy, that Tommy DeVito would probably be on the practice squad right now. But him being hurt, made them keep that third quarterback. And no matter how it happens, I'm still going to support my fellow New Jersey guy in Tommy DeVito. So hopefully they do develop Tommy DeVito. It says no Saquon, no Snakequan talk. Absolutely. It's done. It's over already. All right. DJ might be given another year regardless, and especially if we're not in prime position to draft his replacement. I'll say this. With the cap hit in 2025, if they do decide to bring Daniel Jones back, it can't be for that same contract. It can't be. It's way too much money. They would have to restructure the deal or possibly cut him and then re-sign him and that would be crazy too, just to think about it. But if he's not playing at a very, very high level, there's no way they're going to keep that price tag, in my opinion. And I could be wrong. Mo's laughing at the Snakequan Monica. All right, so we got, let's see. Danny Pick 6 does. I already know where we're going now. Danny Pick 6 does. I got an idea where we're going. A lot of fans still in their feeling about Saquon leaving. Same fans be making excuses about DJ. I've seen that. Guess what? You're absolutely right. I see no lies there because I've seen that with my own eyes. Bill Harden says Singletary has one thing Saquon doesn't: availability. He usually plays every game. Shout out to you, Bill. And that's a fact. And here's the thing, too, man. I don't want to talk about Saquon, but he went to Philly, and the one thing that he won't have in Philly is real love. Like the New York Giants fan base loves Saquon. And the moment that he gets hurt and can't play, it's not available, them Philly guys will turn on him. They'll turn on him. My man Raph is in the building. Raph, what's going on, Raph? He says, salute, Big Dash. Salute to you, Capitan. Raph is my guy right there. Okay. But like a backup for Gunner on kick returns, please no Adoree. I don't think they're going to do that again. I don't think they're going to mess with Adoree Jackson back there at all. I would hope that like a Tyrone Tracy, if we would have kept Turbo, he would have been another guy on kick return. I'm curious to see what they do right now. Is Gunner. I did see in practice, what was it? Last time they practiced was Thursday. It looked like he was moving pretty well. But again, we'll see what happens real time. My man Born for Sports is in the building. That's another Giants content creator. Go ahead and, subscribe to Born for Sports. He said, yo, what's up, Dash? I'm ready to run through a wall. Section 330 crew for life. Yes, Section 330 crew. My man Born for Sports is in the building. Support and love, man. And he does have a show also with TP Way, the Giant. Yeah, those guys have a good show, man. I'm always joining, and I don't like missing their shows, and they do a good job over there for sure. They got their own individual channels, and then they also team up and have a fantastic podcast that they do over there too. Also, the Giants Way is also a part of that team. Let's see what else we got here. My man Corey Lum said, hey, Dash, are you going to any New York Giants games this year? I hope, possibly in the plans. I did go to the San Francisco game last year. I would love to go to a game. I believe it's October 20th. I like that game against the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Okay, Bill Harden said he shaved the beard for media day. Did he? Oh, okay. He said glad to see his back. Okay. I thought you said he shaved the beard now, but I got mad for a second. You heard the disappointment in my voice? Shout out to Bill. He said, man, I'm feeling extremely good about them. I'm assuming he's talking about the offensive line. All right, some other things I want to talk about too. I want to talk about Dexter Lawrence. I want to talk about this defensive line. And when we talked about Joe Shane and some of the picks and where he might have been slacking a little bit, I think it's going to be the defensive line. We never really got an official 3 technique after Leonard Williams left. I thought we might go defensive tackle or 3 technique, in the draft. And as a UDFA, we did pick up Casey Rogers, but he did not make the team. But I will say this, I think we got to steal in Elijah Chapman. Not only did Elijah Chapman make the 53, I believe he's going to get real run in these games. He didn't play a lick in the final preseason game, and usually when you don't play in that preseason game, it already lets you know that you most likely made the team. I will say that too. But I think they were really preserving him for what the role he can possibly have with the New York Giants. So even though we didn't draft a defensive tackle, I think the pickup or the UDFA Elijah Chapman is going to make some waves a little bit this season for sure. What's this? So Javi ATX Bori _Bori. He says, I really believe that the Giants will have a better season than last year. I hope so. DJ can't be scared to throw it. Absolutely. You can't be gun shy. You got to pull the trigger, DJ. That's what it's all about. You guys saw that I put the hat together, the high open hat. That just goes from me being it started off with me being at the San Francisco game and seeing Hyatt have some opportunities down the field, and Daniel Jones didn't pull the trigger. So, that's how I started that whole thing. But you're absolutely right. He cannot be afraid to let that ball go, and he can't just wait for guys to be wide open. It's the NFL. As soon as you get a half a yard on somebody, that's literally open in the NFL, because you're not getting too much more than that unless it's a broken defense, something like that. But yeah, he can't be afraid to throw the ball. Listen, you're back at it's all already, Daniel Jones. Nobody's gonna yell at you for crazy. Actually, let me stop. We will be mad if you throw a lot of interceptions, but we got to push the ball downfield, and that's what Daboll wants to do. He wants to push the ball downfield, and I'm all for that. Okay, so let's see what we got here. J-Man says, optimistic about the O-line, one of the better we have had in years. Absolutely. I hope they can hold up. Yes. We had Runyon that was, pretty much beat up a little bit with the shoulder. Van Roten's a little bit old. JMS with the shoulder. I'm hoping these guys can stay healthy. I'm hoping these guys can get right. And if these guys are healthy, I think they'll fare well. I do like Stenny. I do think we have some good depth behind. One good guy behind the starting offensive line. I believe Stenny can play both right guard, left guard. So I think that's a valuable piece as well. If one of these guys were to go down, you do have a veteran in Aaron Stenny on the squad. My man Bill says, I'm feeling better, but not good on the O-line, because I want to see it on the field in real games. Absolutely. If you guys been following this channel for a while, last year around this time, I was overly optimistic, ready to jump out the window for the most part, and then it all came crashing down after week 1. This year, I'm a little bit more hesitant. It's like show and prove for me for the New York Giants. Like, I'm rooting for this team to win. Don't get me wrong. It's always going to be that. But I just want to hold on just a little bit to see what happens in real time, in real games. Absolutely, Bill. Shout out to Bill Hartnett. All right, Shamar says, if we stay healthy, what is your prediction on the wins? Oh, I'm not doing predictions. I've been caught up before, family. That's my cousin. Listen, I'm not doing predictions. Talk to me after week 4, then I can give you a prediction. I need to see what this team is talking about. All right. Mo says, JMS. Took the words right out of my mouth. Man, I hope he can stay healthy. Absolutely, he needs to stay healthy, and he needs to develop. I like him. I like him a lot. Again, I called him my son coming out of the draft because I was that high on him. I believe if he can pretty much develop to his full potential, we'll have a center for a pretty long time, for sure. Shout out to Mo for the comment. Schemo says, as long as they don't put Josh Ezeudu at tackle, even the backup might hold up. Listen, the experiment for me, when I did my who makes the 53 prediction, I did not have Joshua Ezeudu making the 53. I did not have him making, especially at tackle. If you want to let him be the swing guard, then fine. That's okay. But at tackle, no. We've experimented with Joshua Ezeudu enough, in my opinion. And, that sucks too, because he was a 3rd-round pick. He's one of those knocks on Joe Shea. Joshua Ezeudu is definitely one of those knocks. When you draft somebody in the 3rd round, they need to turn into a starter. If not the first year, at least the 2nd year. And absolutely by the third year, for sure. So Darian Edwards says it's just our QB and our cornerbacks. I'm assuming he's talking about the QB room and the cornerback room. How do you feel about it, Darian Edwards? Is that the one thing that's holding us back, the quarterback and the cornerbacks? Let me know. My man D'Angelo Dole says Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Okay, Born for Sports says, what you got here? Jones gives us 25 passing touchdowns, 4,000 yards. We are in the playoffs. Yeah, I can see that. I think as far as the NFC East goes, I think 11, 12 wins the division. You don't got to win 13, 14 games to win this division this year. I don't think it's a lot. It's been a lot of changes with all the teams, especially the top teams, Philadelphia and Dallas. A lot of changes, a lot of turnover there. Some situations between the coach and the quarterback. We'll see what happens with them. They lost Kelsey, and Kelsey was the only guy that I seen manhandle Dexter Lawrence. And with him being gone, I feel bad. Actually, I don't feel bad for all the other offensive linemen, in the division. All right, let's see what else I got on my list. I'm going to come back to the chat. I want to talk about the linebackers really quickly. Bobby Okereke. I believe that Bobby Okereke is the best linebacker in the division. Yes, I know Bobby Wagner went to the Commanders. What's the guy that's name that went to the Eagles from Tampa Bay? I'm drawing a blank right now. Devin White. I think Bobby Okereke is ascending. Obviously, Bobby Wagner has had the better career, but I like Bobby Okereke right now. I think he's the best middle linebacker in the division. Let me know what you guys think about that. That's not a hot take. That's just how I really feel about the situation. All right. So Mickey X said, I like DeVito. He can be a good backup for us. I think so, man. Right now, I like him over Drew Lock. And he don't cost you $5 million like Drew Lock did. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Okay, says Let's Be Giant says, I think JMS is the only unsure offensive lineman on the starting five right now. But I think he takes another step this year. I hope so. Mickey X again, he says, I agree with that, Bill. What Bill say? I agree with Bill a lot. I might not even, you know what? I don't know what you're commenting on, but if Bill said it, I agree with it too. Because Bill been spot on as long as I've known Bill. Let's see what Bill, another comment from Bill. He said, I'm with you, Mickey. And he's basically free for another 2 years. I now got to see what you guys are talking about. Let me scroll through up here. It says, I think he might be talking about the O-line comment. You guys can clarify that in the comment section. Okay, Let's Be Giant says, let's see if I can get this pulled up. He said, what would we call a successful year for Daniel Jones? Playoffs, winning record, top 15 to 20 quarterback. You figure in 2022, he was like middle of the pack. I believe he was ranked like 18th to 19th at the beginning of the 2023 season. So that's pretty much middle of the pack of where he was. He cannot have the same stats as 2022, and we call that a success. It has to be the numbers that he put up in 2022. It has to be better than that in order for it to be a successful year for him alone. As far as the Giants go, it's about wins and losses. If Daniel Jones has the same type of year as he did in 2022, but the New York Giants win 9 to 10 games, at the end of the day, I'm a New York Giants fan before I'm any individual player's fan. It's all about the wins for me. But I think it would have to be better than that. If he can crack the 15 to 20 range, I think that is successful too. But as far as stat goes, has to be better than what he did in 2022, in my opinion. Got to be more than 15 throwing touchdowns. I would take what he did on the ground, absolutely. But if he could turn that 15 to 25, I think we're talking about something there. Okay, what we got here says King Chris TV says Singletary also never ran be a New York Giant line. Oh, he never ran behind a New York Giants offensive line either. But guess what? This is not a New York Giants offensive line right now. The only guy that came back, it's two guys that came back, JMS and Andrew Thomas. Everybody else is new. So this is not that traditional, woe was me offensive line is what I'll say right now. And I did talk about David Lord said they also lost Kelsey. Absolutely. Did mention that. Jay Jan with another super chat. Shout out to Jay Jan. Appreciate the love and support. Giants going 10-7 this season. Let's go, Giants. That's it. There goes your prediction right there. 10-7. 10-7. I like that. If we go 10-7, I'll be doing cartwheels, man. Absolute cartwheels. Check my phone right there. Okay, so Marquette, this is a good question. Marquette Newman says, what days are you going live? That's a good question. I'm still trying to decide right now. Obviously, it's going to be the late night spot. It's just easier for me to do. But you know what? Let me know what days you would like me to go live, man, and we'll see what happens, man. I definitely want to do at least 2 nights a week that we go live, jump on here, vibe for a little bit. But you guys let me know what nights work best for you. I watch a lot of other New York Giants content creators in this community. Didn't want to step on a lot of people's toes because, again, I'm a fan as well of the content creators. I like to be in that space of showing love, showing support as well. So I picked this spot to be a little bit late, you know what I mean? Giants late night. So let me know what nights work for you guys. Okay. It says Loose Ben says, yo, just got out of work. Missed the first stream too. Listen, the first stream wasn't really a stream. It was just a test. I was testing the equipment. Decided to vibe out for a little bit with the people that were in there. Showed me a lot of love and support. But this is the official first, Giants talk, late night Giants talk. So you didn't miss anything earlier. This is the first stream. Okay, Book and Tackle says, here's to not talking about the draft by November this year. Absolutely. I don't want to talk about the draft in October, November. I don't want to do it. If the New York Giants are winning games, I want to be in the hunt in December. I want to be in the hunt. I don't want to talk about the draft until 2025. That's when I want to talk about the draft, for sure. Schemo says, you going to fight going to the Eagles? You know what? Nah, man. I'm calm, man. I'm calm. And I'm going to be calm. No fighting. No fighting over here. No fighting. Hopefully not. Loose Ben says, DJ Easy bet on over for 12 touchdowns thrown this season. He better throw more than 12 touchdowns. You kidding me? What? You kidding me? A regular starting NFL quarterback, he better throw more than 12. But that goes to show you the PTSD that we have. The over 12 touchdowns. Come on, man. That's not a good season. Shout out to Loose Benz, man. Okay, Schemo says if the secondary can hold up for 2 seconds, maybe 3, the line is going to be cooking. Absolutely. We see how fast. Well, we know that the edges, Tibbs and Burns, don't like speed at all. If they can hold up for 2 seconds, they're going to be back there cooking for sure. Hibachi style. Benny Hannes cooking for sure. Let's see. Loose Ben says, let's talk about Danny Dimes with Kay Adams. He might show up. Listen, I believe that's a rumor, right? It's just a rumor. I wish it was true for him. That's good for him if it's true. If it is true, maybe, if she can get him to play better, I'm all for it. J-Man says, let's get the dashing one to 6,000 subs. That's a fact, man. I'm almost there. 88 people. I just noticed 88 people or 93 people, watching right now, man. Hit that like and subscribe button, man. Hit the like and subscribe. Appreciate the love. You guys, listen, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here right now. That's for sure, man. Talking this Giants football with a bunch of crazy Giants fans. Because if you're up right now watching me, you're absolutely a New York Giants fanatic, and I love it. Shout out to you guys. David Lord with the super sticker. Appreciate the love and support, David Lord. Let's see what else I got going on. All right, I got a question for you guys now. There's so many comments, I can't even get to what I want to talk about. Is Brian Daboll on the hot seat? Let me know what you guys think. Is Brian Daboll on the hot seat right now? Thumbs up if he's on the hot seat. Thumbs down if you don't think he's on the hot seat. If you're waiting to see, go ahead and put the bicep in the chat. If you're not sure Brian Daboll's on the hot seat. I'll wait to see what comes in, and then I'll get to that for sure. I will get to that. And for now, let's get into some of these comments again. He said, let's be Giants. Says Evan Neal can embrace being a guard either this year or next. He will take this O-line to another level, especially if they continue to address the O-line in the draft. I believe it. When it comes to Jermaine Illuminor, he only signed a 2-year deal. And I don't think that he did. He's 28 years old. And if you want to re-sign him after that, that's fantastic, because a lot of these offensive linemen, you see it in Greg Van Roten, these guys can play into their 30s. So if Evan Neal can develop as a guard and you keep Jermaine Illuminor, that solidifies that right side of the line, for at least, another 3-4 years possibly. So here's to that, man. Here's to that. Let me check to see. And let me know if everything's going good with the stream. My wife's giving me my pointers too. And yes, I am acknowledging the super chats and the super stickers. If I missed one, I'm sorry. David Law with the 199 super sticker. Appreciate the love and support. I believe I did already got that. I believe I got that already though. Hopefully I did. And if I did miss you, I got you right now. So you're good to go. All right. So what we got? Corey Alum. Corey Alum says, do we know the captains yet? Yeah, we got the captains already. 5 captains this time around. Not 10 captains like we've had the past couple of years, but it is Dexter Lawrence, Fabio Okereke, Daniel Jones, Andrew Thomas, and then the long snapper Casey Crater. Those are your 5 captains for the 2024 season. Those are your captains. Okay, we got Calvin Innswood Jr. Got your whole government out here, man. Whole government. He says, I love my G-men, but honestly, I think more about the 2025 draft. Quarterback, cornerback, another elite wide receiver. We will be great. Listen, I appreciate all that. And I agree with you. This class of cornerbacks and this class of quarterbacks is getting slept on. Well, the cornerbacks are not getting slept on, but the quarterbacks slightly getting slept on. And I believe it's going to be a strong draft. I watch a lot of college football. You guys know that. But again, Calvin, you wasn't here earlier. Maybe you were. But I am not talking about the 2025 draft just yet. I'm not there yet. So sometimes I might peek and look, but I'm not quite there yet, brother. But I appreciate the comments for sure. Appreciate the love and support. Okay, so we got Revis Island 3. But I already know the profile pick. My man Raekwon, what's good? Says, what's up, Big Dash? How you feeling about Adoree Sunday? You already know, man. You already know what it is. I feel a lot more comfortable with Adoree Jackson than Nick McLeod and Trey Hawkins right now. Even though I'm still a fan of Trey Hawkins. He was a 6th-rounder. We threw him in the deep end of the pool and he drowned last year. But his skill set, I think, is something that Jerome Henderson can work with. But I am happy that Adoree Jackson is here right now. Absolutely happy that we got a chance to bring him back. My man Eddie Cassius says, go Big Blue. Short and sweet, go Big Blue. Salute to you, Eddie Cassius. All right, David Lord says, let's see what David Lord says. He says, I think, put that back up here. I think he was working on stuff in the preseason, throwing back shoulder passes is top tier work. DJ also won't be throwing the ball 30+ times all season. That's a fact. I don't think that's his strength. Him throwing the ball 30 times a game is not Daniel Jones's game. That might be Brian Dable's game. That might be what he wants to do. But until proven otherwise, I don't believe that's Daniel Jones's game. Now, not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying it's not likely in my opinion. But if he can and he's successful, why not? Brian Dable wants to air the ball out. He said it as much. He wants to push the ball. He said that as well, but he also wants to take care of the ball. So 30+, we have to see that. We will definitely have to see that for sure. All right. Jesse says quarterback Daniel Jones. Oh, he was giving us the captains. Thank you, Jesse. Those are the captains for the team. Absolutely. And I say a lot of people handling the questions in the comment section. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Bill, shout out to Jesse, shout out to Corey Alum for answering that question. All right, Schemo says this offseason storyline is almost like the 2007 off. Listen, I don't like making those comparisons as much as I would love to make those comparisons. I'm gonna let you say it. I'm gonna let you, everybody that Schemo's comment right there. I don't want to jinx anything. but I love it. Anytime the season ends in a Super Bowl and you want to make that comparison, I'm all for it. But those are Schimo's words, not mine. Now, I'm playing with you, man. Schimo, shout out to Schimo. Okay. Five captains. I'm going to get to some of these questions. Did y'all start answering? The comment section is going crazy right now. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see here. So Talik Ryan with the super chat. Shout out to you. Appreciate the love and support. He says, hey, Dash, does your son do mixing too? We love to give him some projects. Look at that. I try to tell my son that he has not gotten there yet. Mixing, nope, he has not done that yet. What he does, he has his FL Studios. You know, he might find a loop that he likes, does that, puts his own drums to it, and that's what he's doing right now. But we have not gotten to the point where I'm trying to get him there. He's not done any mixing yet. But again, he's 14. But hopefully he's watching. Hopefully he's watching, and sees the support that people are giving him over, you know, the beats that he's making right now at his age. So shout out to you, Talik Ryan. Respect the love, man. Absolutely. My man said WSG Dash. I don't know. Somebody tell me what WSG means, because I'm not sure. Hopefully it's something good. Said Omega said, oh snap, we live. Yeah, we live. Omega, shout out to you. Yeah, we live finally, man. Finally. We're going to go for a little bit longer too. You guys are showing a lot of love and support in here, man. I'm going to keep it going. As I check my text messages again, because I know my wife is keeping me on point right now. Okay. She's keeping me on point right now. See, it's a family business right now. This channel is a family business. Everybody keeping me on point. Let's see what Jacob has to say. Jacob says, I really like our defense, and looking at our schedule, I think we win at least 9 games. DJ needs 25 touchdowns and needs to get Neighbors over 1,000 yards to be back. Speaking of Malik Neighbors, speaking of 1,000 yards, yeah, we definitely need that to happen right away. I believe, what is it? If you can get Malik Neighbors 6 targets or 6 receptions a game, that's over 100 receptions on the year. And I think if he gets 100 receptions on the year, he's definitely cracking 1,000 yards. We saw Darius Slayton with 50-something catches hit 700 yards. So if he can get those targets, he can get 1,000 yards for sure. Okay. I mean, Mickey X said, hit the like and subscribe. Absolutely. 89 strong, still in the building. And we're about to hit that hour mark too. We're gonna go a little bit longer because, again, you guys are showing a lot of support and love. You know, I'm learning on the job right now. Mickey X says, I'm on the West Coast. So it's early. Yeah, it is early over here. That's a fact. Corey Alarm says, let's go back a bit. Will Eli be a tier 1 or tier 2 Hall of Famer? And will he make the first? Yes. He's a first-time Hall of Famer. You kidding me? Did you see the class that he's going with? In my opinion, is first off, it's not a strong class to begin with when it comes to the Hall of Fame. But again, it's Eli Manning, 2-time Super Bowl MVP. Beat Tom Brady, beat the GOAT twice. He's a first-time Hall of Famer. All right, Bill Hartnett says, oh, hit the like, everyone. Absolutely. I appreciate the love and support. Okay, so here we go with some of the thumbs down. So Talik Ryan, I'm assuming we're finally getting to if Brian Daboll is on the hot seat or not. And I'm seeing thumbs down from Talik. Miguel Centron, shout out to Miguel. Miguel says nobody is safe. Listen, if the season doesn't go the way it should go, you're absolutely right. Nobody is safe and nobody should be safe. Omega says thumb down. Brian Daboll is not on the hot seat. Nope, Daboll is not on the hot seat from Mickey X. Atlantic Lion says, I believe in Joe Schoen. So he got a thumbs down. So Brian Daboll's not on the hot seat, and also he believes in Joe Schoen. So that's a double. That's a double sign of approval from Atlantic Lion. Okay, Javi says, yo, my man, you are a top-notch Giants content creator. Keep doing your thing. Listen, man, I appreciate it, man. I keep telling people I'm just a New York Giants fan. on YouTube, talking about the team that I love. And that's what it is, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys feel that realness from me. Pause. All right, we got some biceps. Some people are saying wait and see. My man Mo says wait and see if Brian Daboll's on the hot seat. J-Man with the thumbs down. He's not on the hot seat. So I see it here. So we kind of got a trend here. Let me go back to some of these super. Again, another super sticker from David Lord. And then I have a super chat. Let's go ahead and put that up. From Omega. Shout out to you, man, with the $10 super chat. He says the Giants will win 10. Book it. Congrats on the live, brother. Salute to you, man. Let me see if I can find that comment. That way I can put it on the shrine. Let's see what happened. Okay, what happened there? I'm trying to find your comment, but again, shout out to you, man, for the $10 super chat. I didn't get a chance to post. There it is. There it is right there. Shout out to you, Omega. Appreciate the love and support. Mickey X let me know. He let me know what it means. WSG means what's good. Listen, I'm kind of ashamed of myself for not knowing that. Just a little bit. Just a little bit ashamed of not knowing that. Could just be that I'm old. My man Rich the Great, man, from your mouth to God's ears. He says this channel deserves 100,000 subs. Thanks for all you do, Dash. I appreciate you. I'm like I said, I talk Giants football, man. You guys tune in, show me love and support. I'm gonna talk anyway. I'm always going to find an outlet when I'm talking about these New York Giants. Let me go back just a little bit. So let's be a Giant says the same way we had to go and get our own legit wide receiver one. I think we're going to have to go get our own legit cornerback one. Deontay Banks is not that. Yeah, I wanted Stephon Gilmore, but I'd rather stay young with longevity. Absolutely. Listen, I think that when it comes to Deontay Banks, he has everything you need to become a CB1. Skill sets there, fast, ball skills, physical. Also, trash talker. You want your cornerbacks to be trash talkers. He's all that. And again, I think he will eventually develop. Right now, I believe he's the CB1 by default. But by the end of the year, I believe he's going to be on a lot of people's radar as one of those guys that are officially a CB1. But right now, he still has a lot to learn, and needs to develop a little bit more. But Jerome Henderson is coaching him, so he's in good hands. Okay. The Atlanta Lions says, I think Adoree going to be better for us lined up on the outside this year. Absolutely. Than last year in the slot, like it was last year. I think it was a mistake that they put him in the slot last year. He did have some history in Tennessee playing in the slot, but he was absolutely our best boundary corner, even with Tate Banks on the squad. The Trey Hawkins experiment happened, failed, and then they put him back on the outside. But I do believe that he'll be better, on the outside for sure. Let's see what's happening here. No hot seat. Okay. And then so I think I'm caught up with the chat, man. There's a couple other things I want to talk about before we get out of here. I know it's late, Labor Day tomorrow. Hopefully everybody is barbecuing, and if you're not barbecuing, you're invited to somebody's house for a barbecue. I will be grilling myself, but hopefully you guys are doing that. You guys actually talked about some of the things I wanted to talk about. Secondary questions. I did want to talk about the safety room and ask some opinions on Dane Belton versus Tyler Nubin. I'm a Tyler Nubin fan. Dane Belton always seems to be in the right place at the right time. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm happy with Pinnock. I think Pinnock, with it being a contract year for him, he might have one of his better seasons. They always tend to have better seasons when it's in a contract year. So let me know what you guys think about the safety spot. Pinnock, Tyler Nubin, Dane Belton. Let me know what you guys think about that. And let me make sure the stream is still going smoothly. All right. So far, so good. Okay. We're still going. All right. So Schemo says in the chat, he says, I think the work Eli been putting in since he retired will help boost him as a first ballot or first team undoubtedly. So first ballot Hall of Famer. Yes, I believe that we got to see more of Eli's personality since he retired. He is everywhere. We're seeing him on a bunch of commercials. I think he's really doing a good job. I do think he's doing a good job. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, we got schema with another one. It says, with the Dorian Banks on the outside, Drew Phillips is the biggest concern, and that's really it. Now, one thing about Drew Phillips, when we drafted him, I know he came in for the 30-30 visit. At Kentucky, he really didn't play on the outside too much, but he showed that versatility at the Senior Bowl. But the type of slot cornerback that Bowen is looking for, Drew Phillips absolutely fits that bill. Physical, you can send him on blitzes and stuff like that. He is fast enough. He is smart enough. He didn't have any interceptions in college. Well, actually, the one interception that he did have in college was actually called back because of a penalty. But I think that it's very, very important for him to start fast, too. He is already penciled in to be a starter. So I'm hoping Drew Phillips is one of those mid to later round guys that Joe Schoen can actually hit on, for sure. Okay, Marquez says, if our offense shows out this year, do you think we can get another coach of the year this season? I don't think we'll get another coach of the year this season. It would have to be something spectacular that happens. Again, Brian Daboll turned the team around in 2022. Well, we all felt like he turned the team around in 2022. 2023 was a lot of things that went wrong, everything that could go wrong, or that could go wrong, did go wrong in 2023. But I think that Brian Daboll, even if he does have a successful season, I don't think he'll get the coach of the year unless the New York Giants go to like the NFC Conference Championship or something like that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. All right. So, my man Jacob says he's commenting on the Nubin and the safety. He said Nubin for sure. He's a safety of the future. Absolutely. When you watch Tyler Nubin in college, and I did a video on Tyler Nubin too, he is a playmaker in the secondary. So even though we didn't get that cornerback one, they tried to get that cornerback one they tried to get an outside corner in the draft. Tyler Nubin is a playmaker on defense. He's a guy that can also get you turnovers. So what we lack in one position, I think he can make up for. But again, we'll see what happens. College and NFL, two different games. But I'm very, very high on Nubin right now. Very high on Nubin. Okay. We got some people talking to each other in the chat, making connections. David Lord, shout out to you again. He says, I love family affair content. This beat is fire. I appreciate that, David Lord. I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate the love and support. And absolutely, it is a family affair. I'll let you in on a little secret. My wife is a Steelers fan. So she's still family. She's still family because the Steelers and the Giants are family through marriage. But but it is a family affair when it comes to the Big Dash Knows channel. Love and support all the way around. Mo 2677 says, yeah, like Nubin a lot. Ready to see us compete. That's who said that's God, please not. Okay, that's it. God, please not another opener like last year. Yeah, we can't lose. I think it's a must-win situation already with the Minnesota Vikings. When I look at the Minnesota Vikings, I see them as a similar team as the New York Giants, deep in the wide receiver room, has a superstar. The defense is pretty stout, pretty tough, just like our defense is pretty stout, but it's a lot of question marks when it comes to the quarterback. Their offensive line right now is a little bit more solidified, but we made the changes that we needed to make. A lot of people might think it might be a blowout against the Minnesota Vikings. I got us beating the Minnesota Vikings, but I don't think we're going to blow out the Minnesota Vikings. I would love to blow out the Minnesota Vikings, but I see us winning. And it's an early game prediction for Minnesota Vikings. I got us winning that game 21-17 or either like 24-17. I think that's what we do against the Vikings. Okay. And I think we're all caught up here, man. I think we're all caught up, man. So let me know what you guys think about these lives. Keep commenting in the comment section below. I have not decided what days that I want to go live. I will say this though. Last year I did a reaction to after every game. would you guys appreciate a live reaction, a live stream at the end of every game? I tend to get a little bit emotional, whether we win or lose. Just giving out the disclaimer right now about it. But let me know if you guys want to see, or if you guys want me to go live after these games. Let me know in the comment section down below. Or, send me a comment if you guys are down with, live reaction streams after these games, man. Appreciate that. Okay. I think we're all caught up here. Yeah. So we did go over, like I said, I would like to keep these an hour. Again, it's late night talk, but whenever we vibing like this, we can go a little bit longer. I'm not going to sit here and shut it down when everybody's vibing all together. But with that being said, we are over the hour mark. And again, I appreciate everybody for vibing with me. Let me know how you guys feel about the Giants. If you guys are high on the Giants, if you guys are a little bit skeptical, I'll tell you guys right now, before I end it out, I'll tell you guys right now, at the end of the day, we bleed blue. It's New York Giants for life. The Big Blue crew, everybody. Listen, we deserve good things. I'll say that we deserve good things. We've suffered for a long time. We got a little bit of hope in 2022. 2023, the floor was pretty much ripped from under us, and we came back to reality. But this year, we got we had at least one bona fide superstar. We're waiting to see what Daniel Jones can do. Brian Daboll, hot seat if you want to say that. Daniel Jones, hot seat. Our back is against the wall. And whenever the New York Giants back is against the wall or people count us out early, that's when we tend to surprise. And that's what I'm hoping the New York Giants do this year. So that's going to be it, man. So I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.